I have to admit that the strategic narrative methodology is about spirituality. It's been hard for me to admit it, but the signs were so obvious around me that at this time I can't resist anymore. I have to admit that strategic narrative, the methodology that I created, is about spirituality. It's not all about spirituality, but spirituality, or the connection with something bigger than us, the research of the meaning of life, the connection with our purpose, is something that is integral to the approach to building narrative power to businesses, at least the way I approach it. I have to admit that spirituality is an integral part of the strategic narrative methodology, thanks to a conversation I had this morning with my colleague, Larry Olson, who is the host of the podcast, The Mindset Playbook. And he was having me as a guest. I was on his podcast this morning. I think the episode will be released in a few weeks, maybe. And he made a comment that once again, I was faced with, and once again, it made me feel like I had to admit my truth, which is the approach that I built is, again, spirituality, is about spirituality. I want to talk about spirituality here, distinctive from religion. Spirituality and religion are two different things for me. So I just want to make sure that you and I are on the same page here. You may find, and you may let your spiritual life emerge through the practice of a religion or not. I practice spirituality every day, all throughout the day, and through business. I think that running a business like MetaHelm is a great source of inspiration. If you look at the roots of the word inspiration, inspiration is about letting the spirits in. Inspiration is such a commonly used term in business. We want to build a business that is inspiring. We want to do it because we want to mobilize people to take action. And there is no mobilization of our market, of our clients, of our teams without some share of spirituality. It's an essential human need, and I have to realize it. I have to admit it once again. Yet, about 2 or 3 years ago, when I started my YouTube channel, it was interesting to see that, the videos that YouTube puts in front of the viewer right after your videos, it's randomly selected by the algorithm. Many of those videos, after someone would watch a video on my channel, were about spirituality. They were meditations exercise from other people, other colleagues, other YouTube channels, not mine. They were church gathering. There were sermons from preachers. So it was interesting that even before me, the YouTube algorithm figured this out. How smart, how brilliant is social media. And I thought it was very awkward. It made me very uncomfortable. I was reluctant to talk about spirituality, and I was reluctant to admit that my whole methodology was to help organizations find a greater sense of purpose, achieve a mission that is greater than them, and have an impact that is universal. I was reluctant to do it. I wonder why. But I came to realize that it was time for me to let go of that baggage and just let go and open the door to the spirits inside MetaHelm. So how do I define spirituality within the context of the MetaHelm methodology? I'm still working on it. I don't have a scripted definition for you, but the connection that I see in the 4 quadrants of the strategic narrative canvas, the framework for strategic narrative, those canvas hold a connection to spiritual elements, such as in visionary leadership. Visionary leadership is the practice, one of the practices is about cultivating a sense of evolutionary purpose. So to do this, I encourage people to connect with the voice inside and outside that seems to be guiding them through how they want life to express itself through their daily business activities. So that's one example. In the marketing space, in the marketing discipline that I call meaningful marketing, I talk about helping your business finding relevance in the world. And yet that is, yet again, that is creating a connection that is about something greater than just your business entity. If your vision is just about your business, you don't have a holistic vision. You can't articulate the story for the opportunity that you see out there. It's all about you. It's very self-centered. It's almost like egotistic, but that's what we've been told to do. That's what we've learned from other business leaders. Instead, I encourage you to connect with a sense of greater purpose and to let the spirits in, to inspire others to join you on a mission that together and collectively you can achieve. That's why I don't talk about competitors, I talk about colleagues. That's why I don't talk about market, but I talk about community. And that's why I talk about clients maybe in different ways. People you serve, people you energize, people you mobilize. I talk about participants instead of clients. I developed that language without noticing that connection to spirituality. But now, again, I have to admit that spirituality is an integral and essential part of the strategic narrative methodology. Two more examples. When I talk about purposeful teaming, I talk about the definition of a moral compass for your team to make better decisions, to align, to work more smoothly, to work more effortlessly, and to be more resilient in the face of adversity. That's yet another testimony. That's yet another example for why I say that strategic narrative is about spirituality. And lastly, in sales, if you show up in front of your clients, who I call the participants of your movement, if you show up in front of them by first listening to their aspiration, what they aspire, I have a hard time saying this in English, their aspirations, that's the word I was looking for. If you show up in front of them by listening to them first and by explaining to them what is your mission, what is your cause, you come to the conversation, the sales conversation, with a greater sense of purpose and an aspect of moral authority. When your business is on a mission, you position your business as the vehicle to achieve some values, to achieve greater values, to achieve greater purpose in a world that needs it. So that's why I'd say that I have to admit that strategic narrative is a methodology that has an integral and really fundamental piece of spirituality. Where do I go from there? I don't know yet, but I was sparked and I was encouraged by Larry, like I said before in this video, by Larry Olson to own this message and to carry this message forward. I believe that spirituality is something that everybody needs, everybody should have access to, should be free to practice the way they want to practice, regardless of the imposed rule of a state or a religion, or without dogma, I mean. And this freedom is really an important value to me. If you feel like you find greater sense of purpose and meaning, if you find like you can express your potential, that you can let your life emerge and let your potential emerge through practices that connect you to a greater sense of purpose, to connect you with a bigger thing, whether you call it God or Allah or the God capitalism or business or meditation or Buddha or whatever the name is. These are just made up labels by human beings. But I believe that spirituality is whatever you want it to be, whatever I define it. So I'm not here to impose that definition on you. So that's probably why I don't have a scripted answer yet. And I welcome your comments and your questions, and I welcome your participation to this quest. And hopefully that message and that realization and that affirmation that to build narrative power for your business, you need to welcome spirituality in your daily business life. Hopefully that message is helpful to you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing your comments and seeing your questions and connecting with me anywhere you'd like. Thanks.